Qureshi.
Thank you, Chair. Mr Mayor, it's been mentioned a few times already that you're going to the Commons this afternoon. Can you just tell us which elements of your failed policies you're going to be trumpeting as your legacy to Londoners on air pollution? Is it going to be your dust suppressants to cover up the problem in the first place, the weakening of the low emission zone or the ultra low emission zone, or your misleading advice to Londoners during the smog incident at the beginning of the year?
I think what I'm going to be telling the House of Commons Committee is obviously about our successes, our very considerable successes in reducing emissions of nitrogen dioxide by 20%, PM10 to PM2.5 by 15%, reducing the overall numbers of people who are afflicted by excess nitrogen dioxide from 3.6 to 1.7 million. I'm going to tell them about the package of measures that we brought in to enable that to happen, the retrofitting of 400,000 homes, the establishment of one of the cleanest, greenest bus fleets anywhere in the world, the retrofitting of 900 buses, the 600 new generation route masters, which are the cleanest, greenest bus anywhere in the world, the age limits for taxis that we brought in for the first time, don't forget taxis contribute 34% of PM10's PM2.5. I will be talking about all the measures to encourage walking and cycling that I think have been beneficial as well. We will be, and then I will describe how we are going to work with government, with our partners, to go even further and faster, in particular with the ultra-low emission zone, which will, I think, have massive impacts on air quality, massive beneficial impacts on air quality. I might mention also the money we're currently spending, the air quality money we're spending with the borough's £20 million fund to improve air quality in hotspots across the city. But I will be talking about the ULEZ and serving notice to motorists of all kinds about the impacts, because if you've got a petrol car by 20, you can only have a petrol car of 14 years or less by 2020. Diesel can be, well, I think it would be 6 years or less. And from memory, you have to be Euro 6 compliant for diesel, Euro 4 for petrol. All buses by 2020 will be either hybrid or electric. We want all double-deckers to be hybrid, or single-deckers, I think, to be electric, or indeed hydrogen kits, again, further restrictions on taxis, indeed we want taxis to be zero emission capable within the congestion charging zone, within the central zone. So it is a massively ambitious programme. It will stimulate technology, it will stimulate the market for the construction of British vehicles, and it will be a profoundly good thing for our city.
Thank you, Mayor, for that response. A lot of it, actually, I think Jenny's dealt with on the basis of the actual figures being projected rather than actual figures. Can I just move to one suggestion you've made recently in the public domain, the car scrappage scheme for diesel? Today it's interesting, actually. We've got cabbies out on a go slow because they feel that you'll move to scrap.
Apparently they never turned up. Apparently they went so slow they didn't turn up.
I'm just informing you, you're going to come across them, no doubt, on your way to the Commons. And the other thing is that actually the last Labour administration had a car scrappage scheme which actually took 300,000 old bangers off the streets of the country, 10% of them probably in London, about 30,000. I just want to be sure, given that the first we heard of it was in the Evening Standard, whether you've had your rival to the Tory leadership, George Osborne, approve this, and whether it's another example of you actually going well beyond your brief as Mayor of London onto the national stage.
No, I think the advantage of the car of the scrappage scheme is obviously, as you rightly say, Murad, it affects loads of Londoners. So it obviously lots of our constituents who are very hacked off because they were all invited to buy diesel cars on what now looks like a false premises, false pretense, because they were told it was green, they were told they were doing the right thing. The vehicle excise regime favoured diesel, and now everybody feels unbelievably browned off because suddenly they're being told that this vehicle is too polluting. And obviously we've got to tackle air quality. That was think that's agreed amongst everybody. I think a vehicle scrappage scheme would have many attractions. I think you've got to be very careful of OG procurement rules and all the rest of it, but I would like somehow it to be pretty clear that the scheme was going to stimulate the buying of clean, green British technology. That's what I would like to see.
We all know that there was a mistake made in the dash for diesel. It's just that, can we realistically expect you to do any of this as you become a part-time mayor after next May?
Well, you can certainly expect me to keep campaigning for this measure, and I think it's the right thing for London, and I think Londoners would expect me to speak up for their interests, even though as mayor I'm not directly able to deliver the scrappage scheme with the funds available to me. I still think that for the reasons you rightly give, it's a good idea for the country.